Hi, I'm Nicole Erickson. I'm here to tell you about the DC public schools and education system. Washington, D.C. public schools have over 45,000 students enrolled. The following slide or chart that you see on this slide depicts the various numbers of schools available under the public system, as well as the enrollment numbers for the year 2008 and 2009. This table does not include the preschool, kindergarten programs, and the Head Start, which are also run by the public school system. You may have noted on the slide that there was a special section on the table for special education programs, and the enrollment number of schools was 6. This doesn't include the new pilot program that has been going on in DC for several years called SAM, and the other one called Full Service Schools. These schools are designed for disabled or developmentally challenged children to be able to be integrated into the normal DC school system. These programs are called the Full Service Schools, and these are the ones that are noted on the table. But the school-wide application model, it refers to all the schools in the public school system, and this is the system that truly integrates children and ensures that no child falls through the gap, whatever their disability or learning difficulty may be. There are other educational programs available in the area of DC, and they include these categories: adult education, youth, and Spanish. Spanish is limited to 1 or 2 programs in the area where Spanish speakers can find resources at the Spanish Education Development Center. This center also offers free or low-cost English as a second language classes and computer classes for Spanish-speaking people. The adult education programs include some GED programs for people who want to get their high school equivalent certificate. But there's also a very good program within the DC Public Library, which is located in many locations throughout the DC area. And this is aimed at literacy, and any adult can participate who is a resident of DC. There's also specific reading program designed for illiterate adults, and this is only a single program. They're located in the center of DC. One further program offered for adults and actually youth at risk is a program called Bite Back, and it's designed for underemployed or unemployed adults, and it gives them computer training skills. 2 interesting programs that are offered in the DC area for the youth is one called the Higher Achievement Program, and this program is aimed at middle school students, and it's designed to identify students who have academic potential from any race and background, and they are given the opportunity to further develop their skills and head them onto a college track education. It is specifically designed to target children that may not otherwise be able to follow a college track due to their circumstances. Another interesting program aimed at youth is called Build, and this is in several locations around the Metro DC area and in Maryland and Virginia. And this gives youth in late middle school and high school an entrepreneurial experience in order to build up their business skills and real life on-the-job skills. These are both very interesting programs, but they're not the only ones that are offered for youth around in the DC area. You can see on this slide that the DC area offers many different transportation options, and they offer you online and paper and map resources in order to understand it. All these types of transportation systems help you get around DC easily and to a certain extent quickly. As you can see, you can get around DC on bus, taxis, rail. There's also bike and foot options and car share programs. It's advisable in the DC area to go with public transport or really start in one of the car share programs, because traffic can be very, very thick, especially at the peak times. Washington, D.C.'s trains and train system is quite extensive. The primary train station in Washington, D.C. is Union Station. Any train around the Metro D.C. area or in the underground system Tickets cost between $1.35 and $3.75, depending on how long you plan to stay on and how many zones you want to pass through. It's quite extensive in the underground, and most of the underground meets up with a bus or a train system going into the states surrounding Washington, D.C. Extended area systems for commuters coming in from outside of D.C. include the MARC train system, which serves all the way to Frederick, Maryland, and spans 187 miles on 3 different lines, and the Virginia Railway Express, which goes from Virginia and Washington, D.C. with 2 lines of commuter service. Both where there is access to trains and where there is not access to trains, you can always have the option of the bus. The Metro bus system is a very extensive service around both the inner DC and the regional DC area. They have subsystems also that extend to various areas of the surrounding DC. Fares range from $1.25 to $3.10, and they run from 5 a.m. until 11 p.m. at night. As I mentioned previously, driving around DC can get quite cumbersome due to the large volumes of traffic. Thus, the city of DC and the surrounding areas and suburbs highly encourage car-sharing programs. One of the ways that they encourage these type of programs is through car parking areas that are available to car sharers, where they can meet and all then go into one car before they enter the DC Beltway, and also by offering high occupancy vehicle lanes throughout the city. In these lanes, you can only drive in them if there are 2 or more people in your car, and they are considerably less congested and will reduce your commute time by a significant amount. It is interesting to refer to some of the car share report findings, and for example, the Arlington Car Share Program of 2006 report found that car share membership increased by 37% in 1 year's period with a little bit of advertisement and help, and that 5% of the Arlington residents living in the Metro Rail corridors are flex car or zip car members, which are also part of our car sharing program. The Arlington Car Share Report also reports that car sharing has allowed members to reduce their vehicle ownership rates and overall vehicle miles traveled while increasing the use of transit and walking. Members has also been able to postpone buying vehicles if they are not able to afford one. Public transportation systems would not be helpful unless they were accessible to all. What is good about the DC system is that it provides services to people with disabilities, senior citizens, and the general public. In fact, there is a program called the Metro is Accessible program, and this program targets people with disabilities by advertising to disability advocacy organizations. It also targets senior citizens, social service agencies, and the school system in the regions. And what this system does is it offers options and ways for people with disabilities or low income to be able to use and access the Metro program. There are reduced fares, a sliding scale type of fee service that are offered, among many other things that people can use if they need it. What is also interesting is that personal care attendants can ride for a reduced or free price depending on the person's disability or need, and even curb-to-curb transport can be arranged for shopping trips, medical appointments, and other needs as you qualify. It is well known that Washington, D.C. itself, through the Smithsonian Institute, offers a plethora of free museums. It is not, however, well known, and it may become as a surprise even to residents, that the D.C. area offers all sorts of low-cost and free cultural experiences. By visiting www.culturecapital.com, you can search the entire metropolitan area for the latest on what's being offered. Some of the things that you can find are performance, theater, art, entertainment, including zoos, ball games, and film festivals, and of course the 19 Smithsonian museums. The time that I actually searched this thing, I was able to find 165 performances, 30 ongoing events, 22 attractions, and 27 venues that were all free.